Hi everybody. So today our objective is that I'm going to introduce you guys to reading skills. And we've been talking about measuring grams and kilograms. So the units of grams and kilograms. And remember that grams, when we weigh grams, these are for lighter objects. So if it's a lighter object, we want to use the unit grams to measure it. If it's kilograms, those are for those heavier objects. So when we measure those, we want to use kilograms. So our objective is we will be able to read a scale with units of grams and kilograms. Okay, so you guys, by the end of this lesson, you should be familiar with how can I measure a lighter object using grams, and how can I measure a larger object using kilograms on a scale. So this is a scale here. And this scale measures the mass of objects. Remember, mass means the weight of objects. And it's going to measure it both in grams and in kilograms. So both of those, okay? And I'm going to explain that in a little bit. So right on top here, this is where we would put the object to measure it. So if I was measuring, let's say, an apple, I would put it on top of this scale, and then there would be a little arrow, and it would move to wherever the weight is. So here's a closer look of what the dial looks like. So let me go back real quick. So right here is what we're looking at. So this is what it looks like. And if you notice, it starts at 0 kilograms or 0 grams. Okay, and then it goes around. Here's a half. 0.5 is also a half a kilogram or 500 grams. And then right here is 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams. And there's another half a kilogram or 1,500 grams. Okay. 2 kilograms or 2,000 grams. 2.5 kilograms is right here or 2,500 grams. 3 kilograms or 3,000 grams. 3.5 kilograms or 3,500 grams. And if it's weighing, it goes all the way around. If this arrow right here goes all the way around and then points back up to the top, then that would be, how many grams do you think? 4 kilograms, right? Or 4,000 grams. So what do you think the mass of this ball is? So what's the weight of it? So if we were to put it on top of the scale, I wonder how heavy it is. What is the mass of it? Well, let's see. When we put the ball on the scale, it looks like the arrow moved this way. You see where it's pointing towards? So it started here, and then it moved to here. So let me erase that real quick so we don't get confused. Okay, so what is the mass of it now? Well, the mass of it is either it's pointing at 500 grams or 0.5 or a half a kilogram. Okay, so I want to talk about that real quick. Remember yesterday, or in the previous lesson, might not have been yesterday, but the previous lesson, we talked about how there are in 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. Okay, so 1 kilogram, there's 1,000 grams. So half of 1,000 is what? 500. So half a kilogram is 500 grams. So the mass of this ball could be 500 grams. You could write it that way. Or maybe a half a kilogram. You can also write it that way. So these are just different ways to describe the same mass of the ball. There's 2 different ways that you can describe it. You can describe it in kilograms, or you can describe it in grams. So now let's take an even closer look at the dial here, okay? Even closer. So as I said before, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. Okay, 1,000 grams. So let's take a closer look at this. Look at right here. It's pointed at 500. Do you guys see that? The arrow is pointed at 500. And these thick pink lines right here, these represent every time this scale has reached another 500 grams. So every time it gets to these thick lines right here, it's another 500 grams, okay? And then here, if you look even closer, these little ones right here, these are 100 grams, okay? So if we were to start at 0, and if we wanted to get to 1,000 grams, we would skip count by hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's a half a gram, or a kilogram, half a kilogram, excuse me. 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 grams, or 1 kilogram. Okay, so 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. These white lines here, these big ones right here, these are kilograms. They represent kilograms. How many kilograms is the scale pointing to now? Well, it's pointing to 1 kilogram, right? How many grams would that be? Well, as we talked about previously, let me go back to that slide. Each one of the little lines there are 100 grams. So when we skip count, we're counting with increments of 100. So you could do it one or two ways. And I'm going to write it up here. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams, just so you remember. So we could count each and every one of these lines here to figure out how many grams there are, how many grams it is, right? Because it's pointed at 1 kilogram. So let's do that first. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 grams. 1,000 grams. Okay, so we know that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Now, what if this arrow went to 2 kilograms? Well, we know from here to here is another 1,000 kilograms, right? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So if we were to add this one up, let me change the color real quick. If we were to add this one up and this one, that would give us 2,000 grams. And then what if it started and it pointed all the way to 3 kilograms? Oh, well, I know that this is 2,000. This is 1,000. This is 2,000. I'm just going to add another 1,000. And now what am I at? 3,000 grams, right? So now we're just adding 3,000 or 1,000 to the 2,000. And then what if it went all the way around and it's now pointed back up at this 0, which is also 4 grams, right? If it goes 4 kilograms. If it goes all the way around and it's pointed back up at the 0, that means from here to here, it's another 1,000 grams. So then I know that I'm at 4,000 grams. So 4 kilograms equals 4,000 grams. Let's measure the mass of some other objects. Let's start with this red box right here. So we're going to pretend the scale's up here. And we put this box on there and it's 2,000 grams. Okay. Where would the arrow point? Well, it's starting at 0, and we know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. Okay, so here we go. So we can either count each and every one of these lines until we get to 2,000, right? That's one way. Or if we know that 1 kilogram is 1,000, we can skip count by thousands, right? So we know that from here to here is 1,000. So 1,000 kilograms is 1,000 grams. And then from here to here is 2,000 grams. 2 kilograms equals 2,000 grams. So the arrow would be pointed to 2 kilograms. Okay, let's do 3,000 grams. So I'm going to put my box on there. It's 3,000 grams. I'm going to make sure that I know what unit I'm trying to find. All right, again, 1 kilogram equals how many grams? Can you guys tell me? How many grams is in 1 kilogram? 1,000 grams. Okay, here we go. So I put it on there, and now let's see. From here to here, how many grams is that? If it was pointing at 1 kilogram, we're at 1,000 grams, right? From here to here, when we get to 2 kilograms, that's 2,000 grams. And from here to here, how many grams is this one? 3,000 grams. So the arrow would be pointed towards 3 kilograms. Okay. So not too bad, right? And again, if that's too confusing for you and you don't like this way, you can easily you're just going to count every single line and skip count of increments of 100 until you get to 3,000. That would be the long way of doing it, so I would suggest to try to practice remembering that every kilogram is 1,000 grams. And let's do the last one here. Let me clear the page. We're going to do 2 kilograms now. So now we have 2 kilogram box here. Ooh, it's different. The unit is different this time. We're not doing grams. We're trying to find kilograms, right? 2 kilograms. All right. Well, that's easy enough because this shows kilograms, right? So we need to go over and find where 2 kilograms are. And here we are right here, right? So the arrow would be pointed at 2 kilograms. Now I have, I want to kind of challenge you guys. If it's pointed at 2 kilograms, how many grams is that? If it was 2 kilograms, how many grams is it? Remember, hint, hint, 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Oh, I know. If I had 2 kilograms, I would just add another 1,000, right? And that would give us 2,000 grams. Okay, guys, that is it for today's lesson. You are now going... Okay, so this is going to be your guys' independent work today. You're going to complete this assignment on Seesaw, okay? So what you're going to do here on this first page is the first thing is match each object with the approximate weight. So match each object with the approximate weight. So you have to look at each of these pictures. Let me zoom in. And this first one is a water bottle. Okay, it's a water bottle. So you have to figure out, if I was to measure this and I put it on a scale, do you think it would be 100 grams, 10 grams, 1 gram, or 1 kilogram? Based on my knowledge of what I just learned this week so far about the differences between grams and kilograms, if I was to put that on a scale, what would the weight be? What would the mass be? A paper clip. We talked about this a lot on Tuesday. So think about, I told you 1 paper clip equals what? Let's see if you guys remember that one. Is it 100 grams, 10 grams, 1 gram, or 1 kilogram? 4 pennies. Do you think that's 100 grams, 10 grams, 1 gram, or 1 kilogram? And the last one is an apple. Again, so you're going to just connect where you think they go. And the next page, here, you guys are being asked to read and write the weights below. So you're looking at each scale, you're going to write the weight, and then you're also going to write what unit it is. Are we talking about kilograms? Are we talking about grams? So you need to write that on the line, what the weight is, and if it's grams or kilograms. If you look very closely at the scales, you'll notice that each of them are different, right? They all look different. So again, based on your guys' knowledge of the previous lessons, and even thinking about telling time, you guys have to look at the dial here and figure out, are they counting in increments of 1? Are they counting in increments of 10? Maybe 100? So you have to pay really close attention. What do you think each one of these lines represents? Okay, in order for you to figure out what the weight is. Okay, so pay close attention to that. Oops. And then let's go down to this part right here. So again, paying really close attention, looking at it, saying, okay, are they doing increments of 10? Do each of these lines represent increments of 1 or increments of 10? Well, here I'm noticing that these from 360 to 170, I know that that's only 10, right? So each one of these lines is going to be 1 increments of 1. So where is the needle pointing on the scale here? And same thing goes for here. They zoomed it in for you so you could figure out what the weight is. Again, pay close attention. Are we looking at the units? Are we talking about kilograms or talking about grams? And you need to write that on the line, what the weight is and what the unit is. Now your password today, so we know that you completed this whole lesson video, is baseball. So make sure to type that in your Seesaw activity so we know that you watched this lesson video. Good luck and come to the help group if you need any help.